Hey everybody, and welcome back to Marvel Champions Experience. Remember, I would always appreciate it if you consider liking this video. If you truly enjoy this content, please think about subscribing. And as always, drop a message down in the comments below, especially on a day like today, where I'm looking to help as many people as possible out. I don't need to wear these. I'm going to take these off. That's for testing some audio. Yeah, please let me know whether you liked what you saw, whether you didn't like what you saw, if you want to see me make any specific type of content, or especially in this video where I'm looking to help out new players, drop some of your tips and tricks and suggestions in the comments below. Please, let's try to help everybody out if we can. So again, would always appreciate a like, subscribe, and comment. All right, so here's what we're doing today. I made a video last year for a new player's guide, and I really wanted to update it, but I held strong until basically a year later, and I'm updating it. So we are in our holiday season, so I'm going to be calling this a 2023 new players holiday buyer's guide. I don't know. And if you are, so the first thing I want to say is if you are like deep into this game, I'm sorry, this video isn't for you. If you are, because you're getting everything, you know what to buy, etc. You're on the Reddit, right? This is mainly for the people who are, number one, either wanting to get into this game and don't know what to purchase. Number two, have just started this, so you want to see what you should get next, or maybe you're buying this for a friend or a family member, or if you just want to bring this into your household. So this is really for new players. But if you are an experienced player, please drop your suggestions down in the comments to help everybody as well. So I am going to be making my suggestions in the order of which you should purchase things, trying to make best of use of your money, because the game is very, very big now. It can be extremely overwhelming. So I'm here to try to help you out. Okay, so the number one thing I should say is that I play this game true solo, meaning one hero for myself. I don't play two-handed. Sometimes I play with a couple buddies, but overall I play true solo. So a lot of my suggestions are going to be gearing towards that, okay? And I will make some comments on if, I feel something is better for two-handed or multiplayer as well. So my other biggest tip, if you're starting into this, don't just watch this video, look at other videos. Josh at Get Up in Games makes amazing content. Nelson Oliver Cards makes amazing content. So check out multiple people, right? See what they have to say to help inform your decision. But I got yelled at last time for my intro being too long, so I'm going to shut up. I'm going to start the video right away. Okay, so I'm going to rank these by tier, right? S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier. I just want to get this out of the way right now, because I get so much hate for it, and I still feel this way, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to start with the D tier, and only one thing is going to be in here, and I'm sorry. Please don't hate me, everyone, but I'm putting Wrecking Crew there. If you are a new player, I do not suggest buying Wrecking Crew. I'm sorry. I know that there are some people who love the Wrecking Crew and enjoy it, but if you are looking just to get into this game, the game is old now, and the Wrecking Crew was, it's the first time that it's the first time that they introduced to the game multiple villains, and they've just gotten it better. They've gotten better at it, and that's the honest truth. Wrecking Crew is a little clunky. You really can't add them to other scenarios. It's really standalone. So if you're new to this game, if you're just buying stuff for the first time, I completely say skip that. So I just wanted to get that out of the way so I can bring on the hate. I apologize. All right, so where are we going first? Obviously, you don't know what to buy, right? There's so many different things to buy. And this might sound obvious, but if you're new, you wouldn't know which one to pick. You have to start with the core set, okay? So if you purchase the core set, you're getting 5 different heroes and 3 different villains. And the heroes that you get have gotten better throughout the time, right? And they're great heroes, right? You get Black Panther, you get Spider-Man, you get Iron Man, you get She-Hulk, right? And Captain Marvel. So I just want to make sure I said that correctly, because last time I didn't. I believe it's She-Hulk is in there, right? And they're good heroes that have only gotten better throughout time. And you get 3 great villains in that. You get Rhino, you get Claw, and you get Ultron. And just with the core set alone, that's going to last you a while, right? The game is a deck builder, so you can mix and match the decks that they come with, and you can have a really, really good time for months with just the core set. So that's my suggestion. Obviously, not really a suggestion, but you have to start with the core set. Great. So a lot of this content, I'm kind of copying what I did the last time, right? I'm going to kind of place it exactly where my last video was and make some alterations if I feel that I need to, right? Okay. So you've just bought the core set. What should you get next? So my opinion is, this is mainly a single player game, right? It's meant to just like have fun, and that's what I suggest, right? I think you should just buy a hero pack for the hero that you really, really like. Okay. Like one of your favorite heroes, whether it be, I don't know, if your favorite hero is like, so forget about, don't even worry about tier listings of what hero is the strongest. Like the Hulk, in my opinion, is one of the more weaker heroes. Who else? Like Wasp is one I think of the one of the more weaker heroes. But if you happen to like those characters, and you're a fan of them, buy them. Who cares? It's a single player game. You're not trying to impress anybody, right? So I'm going to use Miss Marvel over here as just a placeholder, as any hero that you want, that you enjoy, and that you're, oh, I didn't want that to pop up. Come on, go away. Thank you. All right. Yeah. So any hero that you want, that you're just a fan of, right? So go with that after you purchase the core pack. Okay. And the next thing I suggest purchasing was a little tough, and I still actually think I feel this way after playing this game for a while. I think that so I'm still not going to suggest that you pick up another campaign set, because again, this set will last you a long time, and you just want to add on to it, right? You can add on to it and challenge the villains in different ways. So what I think you should pick up is this Green Goblin scenario pack. Maybe I'll change these at the end of it, but the reason why I think the Green Goblin scenario pack is really good to add on is, number one, it's pretty cheap. I do believe it's like 16, maybe at maximum 18 to 20 bucks, but it gives you two new villains. It gives you Green Goblin in basically Norman Osborn form, and then Green Goblin in Green Goblin form, for the most part, as the most easy way I can describe it. And the Norman Osborn scenario is not that difficult, and the Green Goblin one ramps up the difficulty. So you can take those 5 heroes that you got from the core set, you can add a new villain to it. It definitely makes its money worth for the price, and it's a really fun scenario. So I do suggest picking up that Green Goblin one. I'm looking over to the side to my notes. Okay. After that, I think you should pick up some more hero packs, specifically some of the top tier heroes. Okay. And so there's a couple, before even going to that, my last video ended that I did last year, and there were some heroes that didn't come out yet, right? And a campaign that didn't come out yet. So I'm going to be popping those in at the end. Okay. Specifically one of them. So I think you should pick up some of the top tier heroes that are really, really strong. And in my opinion, people might hate this, but Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is probably the most powerful hero in this game. Okay. And if you're new to this game, some of the content can be pretty difficult. So I think, bringing in Doctor Strange to play with is always fun. He kind of, I don't want to say he can steamroll every scenario or every villain, but he is extremely powerful, and he's fun, So treat yourself to Doctor Strange, have some fun, punish some villains, and then that will allow you to learn how to play the game some more, see how the villains interact with the game, and make those fights a little bit easier, right? So if you're having some problems with Ultron, which I totally get because he's pretty difficult, I actually think Claw is more difficult, and that's in the core set for the most part. But bring in Doctor Strange and learn those fights and have fun with them. I'm going to throw in, let's see, what do I got on my list? 3 more heroes that I personally think are top tier. And let's go with Venom. He is one of my personal favorite heroes in this game. I think, now this is specifically for True Solo. If you're playing True Solo, I highly recommend Venom. His damage actually scales down pretty immensely in multiplayer games, but as True Solo, he's, in my opinion, probably the king. I have a lot of fun playing with Venom. He does everything extremely well, not just well. He's not really a jack of all trades. Master of none, a little bit of all. He's actually pretty masterful at all things. He can thwart, he can do damage, he can stun, he can confuse, he can heal. So if you're playing true solo, I don't think there's anybody else Doctor Strange aside, that is as all well-rounded as Venom. And the last person that I want to recommend as in this S tier things to purchase is Ant-Man. So going by these heroes that I recommended, Doctor Strange, probably the most powerful hero and easiest to get into. Venom, he's not as powerful as Doctor Strange, but he does everything really well. Now, Ant-Man is just as good as those three. Oh, sorry, I do have another hero I want to put up there. Ant-Man is not as powerful as Doctor Strange, but he's similar to Venom. He does just a little bit of everything right, and he has a unique ability where he actually has 3 forms. So it adds another way to play the game with Ant-Man, and I think as a new player you'll enjoy. And it's just really creative, and he's a fun hero to play. And I want to throw one more hero up into this. I just want to make sure I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. The last hero that I want to throw up into this S tier that is a great, really powerful hero is Captain America. Captain America probably has the most powerful deck in this game. It's a protection stun lock deck. So basically he just keeps the villain stunned. Again, another hero that can do everything really well. So if you notice, the 4 heroes that I've placed here, right, do everything as a true solo player. So when you're playing true solo, you have to manage all aspects of the game. You can't really depend on you don't have a partner to depend on to help you work out the threat, work out the damage, etc. So you need a hero that does all things well. And all of these heroes do that. Doctor Strange, Venom, Ant-Man, Captain America. So that is my starting point of what I think is probably the best things for you to pick up, right? The core set, any hero that you want, your favorite hero, right? The Green Goblin scenario pack, then the Doctor Strange hero pack, the Venom hero pack, Ant-Man hero pack, and Captain America hero pack. Okay. All right. Let's move down a little bit and let's go to the A tier. So once you've gotten your time and money's worth out of those S tier packs and scenarios and sets that I've recommended, I think I would like to throw in another campaign set for you. Now I'm most likely going to play around with these towards the end of this video, and I haven't prepped this. I'm looking at my notes from last year, and I'm going to try to slot them in, but I'm having another hard time with this. So basically last year I recommended Rise of the Red Skull for a new player, and honestly, there's a good chance I'll keep that there, and I'll explain my thought process in a minute. So I'm looking at the other hero packs. I definitely wouldn't put Mad Titan Shadow there. 100% Galaxy's Most Wanted is not going there. I had a problem with Sinister Motives. Like, I really wanted to put it in this first spot. And Mutant Genesis, I definitely will not put in this spot at all. Next Evolution is tempting to put here because it is a really good scenario. Campaign. So I'm tempted. It's really hard to decide between these two. To put Rise of the Red Skull there or Sinister Motives. And I actually think that I'm going to do exactly what I did last year. And as much as it pains me, and I'll explain my thought process right now, I am going to put Rise of the Red Skull as the second campaign set that you buy. Now, the reason why I say this is because I think Rise of the Red Skull's villains are pretty basic. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You've only picked up the core set at this point, right? And a lot of the rules change with these extra campaigns, okay? But the Rise of the Red Skull is the first campaign that ever came out, and it keeps things very similar. So I think it's really safe to pick that one up, okay? The game doesn't change too much. You're still learning the basics. You add 5 new villains. I'm going to make a fool out of myself trying to remember the villains. It's obviously Red Skull. It's Taskmaster. It's Crossbones. It's Arnim Zola. And there's one more. I feel that I'm being judged right now by not remembering who they are. Let's see if I can see it on the cover. Oh my god, the first fight is Crossbones. It's not Sandman. Can't remember, guys. I'm a fool. Oh, wait, look. Luckily for me, I'm holding it right in front of my face. I didn't even mean to do that. Let's see. So it's It's the second fight that I'm forgetting. It is Absorbing Man. Right. So you got Taskmaster, Absorbing Man, Crossbones, Arnim Zola, and Red Skull. And I personally think that Arnim Zola is one of the hardest villains in this game. So this pack gives you an extremely difficult villain, right, to test how good you're getting. And the other villain, I mean, Red Skull is nothing to, you know, step over either. He's pretty strong. But the first three fights are solid. They're not too difficult, and they'll just give you some fun villains to play against and add those new heroes that you picked up into it. Okay, so the next thing I suggest you pick up after this Rise of the Red Skull is more heroes that you like, okay? And I'm going to use this War Machine pack to represent that. So you should, at this point, you know, you've got the core set, you've got some heroes that you picked up beforehand, 4 really, really strong heroes, a new campaign. Pick up another hero that you really like, okay? Maybe it's Thor, maybe it's, I don't know, grasping at straws right now. Maybe it's Spider, maybe it's Scarlet Witch, but treat yourself to some heroes that you have fun with, right? And then get them into the mix with that core set, with the Rise of the Red Skull or the Green Goblin, okay? All right, now, this is a big change from last year. Last year, I recommended Kang scenario pack at this point, and I am not going to be doing that. So since I already mentioned him, I should drop him into a slot, okay? And the spot that I'm looking at my notes from last year, the spot that I think I'm going to drop Kang into is, let's see. Let's drop Kang into this B tier. And maybe I'll move him around later, but I think he fits well there. So the reason why I don't have Kang this year in the A tier is because, again, now this is coming from a true solo player only. So the Kang scenario pack, unlike the other scenario packs, it's one villain, mainly, for the most part. Actually, no, it's not even for the most part. It is one villain. You're fighting one villain in that fight, right? The Green Goblin gives you 2 technically. The Hood gives you lots to play around with. Mojo Mania gives you lots to play around with. So, Wrecking Crew is also only one villain. But Kang only gives you 1, and if you're playing true solo, it's kind of boring. This fight gets exponentially better the more players you have. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but basically Kang has an interaction in the middle of the fight that makes it really fun for multiplayer. So if you're playing two-handed, if you're playing with friends, yeah, I would increase that to the A tier. But thinking about just how I play this game and how I run my channel, I'm putting Kang in the B tier because as a true solo player, it's not the most fun fight. So, all right, let's keep rolling with this A tier. Let's see what I got in here. All right, I'm going to put in, now here's going to come my Sinister Motives, okay? So I'm putting Sinister Motives at this spot for a couple different reasons. Reason number 1, and the reason why I didn't have it before Red Skull is because some of the fights in here get a little, like, you have to know the basics of the game because things start to change at this point. They add new features, the villains do different things. One of the fights in here in particular, you don't try to kill the villain, you try to remove a lot of threat. So the rules change a bit here. The villains that you get in this are extremely well balanced, okay? You have Sandman, who I love testing new decks against because he's a really fair fight, okay? You have the Sinister Six in there, which is a really great fight. You have Venom. You know, I'm a big Spider-Man mark, so I love fighting against Venom. Mysterio is a great fight. And then Venom Goblin is the final villain in this. And in my opinion, Venom Goblin is debatably the hardest villain in this entire game, okay? So there are 3 that I call big bads in this game, and it's Venom Goblin, it's Ronan, and it's Loki. So this fight gives you, this box gives you 5 great, well-rounded villains, one of them unbelievably difficult. And the heroes that you get in this, now this is where this, so the Red Skull, I should have mentioned it, comes with Hawkeye and Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman is a top-tier hero. Hawkeye is not. He's debatably probably one of the lowest heroes. But in this pack, Sinister Motives, Miles Morales Spider-Man, he's up there. He's like top tier hero, like A tier. And Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, I don't like calling her, but Spider-Gwen, in my opinion, is an S tier hero. So you have two great heroes that can handle almost any villain that comes with this pack, and 5 villains that are just really, really fun and extremely difficult to play against, depending on, if you take it that far. So I think Sinister Motives is a great, fantastic pickup at this point. All right, so that's going to stop us for this A tier. Let's move down to this B tier. All right, so in this B tier, I'm actually putting these in the order that I think you should pick them up in, right? So I don't think Kang is not going to be there. I'm going to put another, let's see. Last time I had, so you picked up some hero packs. You picked up a couple campaigns here. Let's drop in Mad, let's see. Actually, yeah, you know what? I said I was going to add the new things at the end. So let's drop these new things at the end over here. So I need to add in basically Mutant Genesis. I have a couple heroes here. The Deadpool, I have X-23 that I'd like to add in, and maybe even Wolverine possibly. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with right here. I'm going to drop in, sorry, it's Next Evolution. Mutant Genesis, what came out during my last video. I'm going to drop in on this spot. Let's see. So you've got this stuff already. Last year I had Mad Titan's Shadow. And let's see. Mutant Genesis or Mad Titan Shadow. So I'm going to go Mad Titan Shadow again here. And the reason why I'm going to decide to put this here is I forgot who comes with that. But you know what? The heroes that come in this pack, I think they're pretty weak. It's Villain, Vision, and Spectrum. Nope, it's not. It's not Vision. Who is it? It's Spectrum. Is it Vision? Let's see. I have my book here. Who did we get in this one? I forgot. Oh, Adam Warlock. I made that same exact mistake a year ago. Adam Warlock and Spectrum. Do I want to change my mind? No. Yeah. The reason why I am going to keep this at this spot is for one reason in particular. The Infinity Gauntlet. So in this campaign, you get the Infinity Gauntlet. And what the Infinity Gauntlet does, it's another modular, right, that you can add to any other villain in this game. So you can go back to your core set and give Rhino the Infinity Gauntlet and make his fight a little more difficult, and make that fight completely unique. Right? And you can add that Infinity Gauntlet to anybody. You can give it to Claw, Ultron, Green Goblin, anybody in that Red Skull or Sinister Motives pack, right? That 1/1 feature is the reason for me why it cements it as one of the first purchases in that B tier slot, just because of how versatile that one modular set is, and that you can change so many different villains, giving you a completely unique experience. Now, the heroes, again, Adam Warlock is like a big brain hero. It's just really, really difficult to deck build from Adam Warlock. Spectrum, I think she's fine. I never had the most fun playing with her. Like, I have more fun with other heroes. So like the heroes in this are okay. The villains that you get are pretty solid, right? You get Thanos, you get, I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Obviously, you get Loki in there. Who else do we got in here? Is this the one? No, it's not Brotherhood Veteran. Oh, yeah, you get Ebony Maw, which is a great fight. You get Tower Defense, which is Corvus Glaive and Proxima. I guess, like I said, you're fighting against Thanos, and you fight against Hela and Loki. So these villains are very different. They're really fun. The Ebony Maw and Proxima fight is a very good multi-villain hero fight. I thought they did a good job with that one. Okay. Loki, again, in my opinion, top 3 big bad. I think he's one of the hardest villains in this game. So this, from the hero wise, I think it's a little lacking, but villain wise, and that Infinity Gauntlet modular really raise its value up. So I think it's a good purchase here. Okay, so you got a whole bunch of campaigns here. You got a whole lot of stuff here. Why don't you throw in another hero that you like? Okay, I'm going to use that to represent, I'm going to use Scarlet Witch to represent that. Maybe even pick up Scarlet Witch. She's really good, right? So, you know, find some heroes that you really like. Maybe you're watching some, maybe you just watch Miss Marvel or the Marvels and you're really feeling Miss Marvel. Pick up Miss Marvel, even though I have her up there somewhere. She's great. So fill out your collection with some more heroes that you like. All right. And now, last year, I put the X-Men Mutant Genesis spot after these heroes that you liked. I think I'm going to switch that up a bit. I think I'm going to switch that up a bit. So, because at this point, I've recommended you picking up like a multiple hero packs that you liked, 3 really strong heroes. Okay. I think at this point you can start mixing up your game, and I would recommend. Last year I had the Hood in this spot, like in one of these spots. I think Mojo Mania should go here. And there's a good, yeah, maybe I'll move things around at the end, but Mojo Mania, in my opinion, might be the best scenario pack that they've ever released. So Mojo Mania came out after the Mutant Genesis campaign, and it adds 3 new villains to the game and 3 fantastic villains in Spiral, in Magog, and Mojo, and they play unlike anything in this game. They are so fun. The Magog fight can be really quick, if it's only feeling like a few minutes to play a game, but they give you 3 new villains that are just great. Mojo can be difficult. He can be really random. I think the Mojo Mania pack, scenario pack is just top tier stuff. All right. Now, do I add the Mutant Genesis pack? No, I don't think so. We're doing things a little different this year. I'm throwing in the Hood. So, the reason why I'm putting the Hood scenario pack after Mojo Mania is because the Hood, so this one only comes with 1 villain. And you might be saying, oh, but Rick, you know, you like said Kang was bad because you only came with 1 villain. This is true. However, the Hood, who I don't actually necessarily love as a villain, I think it's an annoying fight for the most part. However, the Hood comes with, like, I don't remember how many, at least, like, I think it's like 10 or 13. It might be 13 or 11 or something. He comes with at least a dozen new modular packs, right? And those modular packs you can add to any villain in the game, essentially changing all those villain fights that you've done, right? So the Hood scenario pack changes everything that you've played before, makes it a little more difficult, adds just new things that could happen. It's really fun. In addition to that, so the core pack comes with, this core pack up here comes with Standard 1 as one of the modulars that you have to add to the game. The Hood comes with Standard 2. Standard 2 is a little bit more difficult. So the Hood, at this point, you've got a lot, right? It wouldn't hurt to just make things a little more challenging for you and just change up your villains. So now I think I'm going to drop this Mutant Genesis here. Okay? So the reason why I'm putting Mutant Genesis towards the end is because I was really hyped for it, and I think everything that they did after that was great, but as a campaign, I think it lacked a little bit, okay? I think for me, the 2 heroes that it came with, Colossus fell a bit short. I actually was extremely hyped for him. He didn't really hit the way I wanted him to. Shadowcat is good. She can be a little difficult to use, a little bit clunky at times. The villains are good as well. Like, it's a fine campaign. It's not bad. It's not fantastic. It's fine. Okay. Magneto is a very difficult villain. He's probably like A tier difficulty. You know, Sabretooth, who's the first fight in that, is kind of like, he's really hard to get over that damage curve. The fights can be a little bit more difficult in this one. It's great, and it's the first time that we've got mutants in this game, so it was good. It was really good, but it literally falls like right in the middle of what everything I suggest that you pick up. All right, and the last of the content that I did last time is Galaxy's Most Wanted. And Galaxy's Most Wanted is going to go firmly in this C category, okay? It is definitely worth a pickup. And I'm going to, just like last year, that 1D category is only for Wrecking Crew. You're a new player, don't ever buy that. Make it like the last purchase, okay? So the reason why I have Galaxy's Most Wanted for a new player to purchase is because it's unbearably hard. It's unbearably hard. So when I started playing the game, Rise of the Red Skull was the first new. Rise of the Red Skull was out already, and Galaxy's Most Wanted was the new campaign that I was waiting for. I was really excited to get it, and I played it, and I got to Ronin, and he beat me in 1 turn. And then I tried him again, he beat me in 2 turns, and then I stopped playing the game for over a month. Ronin broke me. And the funny thing is, my buddy who's like going back through, like he has everything, Nelson, I see you there. He is going through this content, right? And he just got to Ronin, and he's like, I don't want to play anymore. This Galaxy's Most Wanted was their answer to people saying the game was too easy. They made that unbelievably difficult, and that's almost 3 years old at this point, and it still remains one of the most difficult pieces of content in this game. I rolling my eyes because one of my friends that I play with loves using Rocket Raccoon. I think he's not that great. Groot is also fine. Like, the heroes that they give you are not setting the world on fire. The villains are unbearably difficult. Ronin is probably the hardest villain in this game. Nebula, who also is in this pack, is like can be the most difficult villain in the game depending on what you draw with her. So I don't know. Until you've got this game mastered and you're truly looking for a difficulty spike, wait until getting Guardians Most Wanted until like the very, very end. Honestly, it's worth a pickup, but if you play video games, it's the Dark Souls of this game. It's just it's brutally difficult. All right, so now I get to talk about. So this Cyclops is just like a placeholder one. Now I get to talk about some of the new content that's released since last year. Okay, and one of the new things that just came out was the Next Evolution campaign box. So where would I recommend the Next Evolution campaign box for new players? Let's see. It's not going to go in this S tier. I don't think it should be in this A tier. It's actually that's questionable. It's going to go at least here. I'm wondering if it goes past Mad Titan Shadow. I don't. No, actually, no. I feel confident putting it there. That seems like a good spot. Okay. So the reason why I'm placing it there, and I've moved everything down a little bit. You know what? For posterity's sake, I'm dropping Kang down. I'm putting Kang right there. And again, this is only if you play true solo. Only if you play true solo. Kang is a great fight. One of my favorite fights to play with my buddies. As a true solo player, it's boring. Okay, so I'm putting Next Evolution here for... I really think that Infinity Gauntlet holds strong and that it changes everything in the game for you, which is why I want it there. So Next Evolution has some really, really good fights. They're really difficult, okay? So you get, let's see, who's in this box? Let's see, you get Juggernaut, who is just Rhino version 3.0. Juggernaut hits very, very, very hard. He is a brick wall, and he's really fun, okay? But a lot of these fights give you an ally to work with in Hope Summers, and it's really fun to use her. And the first 2 fights are kind of random, which is really cool. Mr. Sinister is like another random fight. Like, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of these fights are random. I don't want to really ruin this surprise for you, but you don't really know what the villain's going to do, which is kind of cool. And on the other side, Cable is probably one of the strongest heroes in this game. Domino, and on the flip side, and Cable plays pretty straightforward for the most part. So if you're a new player, I think taking him against some of the old fights is going to be really fun. But Domino is I also think she's like an A or an S tier hero, but she's one that requires you to think a lot about your next move. So at this point, I think you have picked up a lot of stuff. You'll have known how to play the game, and she really adds just another level for you to play. Okay, she's really fun, and she rewards you thinking things through. So you get two really, really good heroes, a really solid villain set, and they just did a really great job with Next Evolution, and I loved everything about it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to then throw in. Um, no, I was gonna say these two packs are like heroes that you want to pick up, but I'm specifically putting in X23. This is probably gonna be a recency bias thing, but I think X23 is really, really, really strong. And I'm gonna put her right here, right in that middle. Okay. So the reason why I'm putting X23 there is because so in this tier, I've suggested that you pick up Mad Titan Shadow, Next Evolution, a hero that you like, and then specifically X23. Okay, because she's so strong, and I think taking her directly into Mojo Mania would be really, really fun. Excuse me. That would just be a really, really fun scenario to run with her. Take her against the old villains. She's just a really great hero. She readies a lot. She is a really fun true solo hero. If you're playing with two-handed or if you're playing with friends, you are dealing the damage. That's all she wants to do. Okay, and I've saved the best question mark for last. Deadpool, the Deadpool hero pack. I'm not going to put these are just extra hero packs for you guys. This Deadpool hero pack, I'm going to put it. Actually, I already know where I'm putting it. I'm just being suspenseful now. Where should I put it? I think it's going to fit really good. No, this is going to A tier. Okay. I feel all the hate already. Maybe. Like, oh my God, it's Deadpool. Of course you put him high. I'm actually not the biggest Deadpool fan of like the comics and stuff. The reason why I'm putting Deadpool here is very, very specific. So, and do I want him here or do I want him actually a little earlier? No, it's a good spot for him. Okay. The reason why I'm putting that Deadpool pack there is because him as a hero, he's fine. He's good. He's solid. You know, he can do a lot and he's fun. He's goofy, all that stuff. That's not what I actually care about. Deadpool's hero kit comes with a completely new aspect called the pool aspect. Right? So normally you have aggression, protection, justice, basic, and leadership. Deadpool's comes with a pool aspect that you can add to any hero to make them a pool character, right? I originally thought it was just going to be a gimmick, but that completely changes literally every single hero in this entire game. Okay? You can completely play everybody differently, right? Any hero. And I didn't realize that even though he was releasing as a hero pack, he's essentially a scenario pack with what he does to the meta of the game, right? Allowing you just a completely new way to play every hero, a completely new way to play against every villain with the new heroes that you're now using. I think it's just like what they did with that is genius. You know, it's number one, it's really funny. It's like fourth wall breaking with some of the stuff that they did. I really think that they did a phenomenal job with that Deadpool hero pack. And I hope that they continue to add to the pool aspect. So, all right. This is my suggestions for new players. Your 2023 holiday buyer's guide. I will go over it one more time. I obviously, nope, sorry for doing that again. Go away. I obviously think you not even think you need to. You have to start with this core pack, right? So after you've picked up this core pack, treat yourself to your favorite heroes in the game. Then I suggest you move on to the Green Goblin, which is going to add 2 new villains, right? Then I think you should like really beef up your collection with 4 extremely strong heroes in Doctor Strange, Venom, Ant-Man, and Captain America. Okay, so at this point, you know, you've got 5 villains, right, with this box and the Green Goblin. You've got a lot of heroes. It's time to start adding some more villains to our set. Okay, so I suggest recommending getting this Rise of the Red Skull, which is going to add 5 new villains for you. After this one, again, whatever heroes that you like that you might be missing out on, pick them up here. Then let's add some more villains to your collection with the Sinister Motives pack, another 5 villains. At this point, definitely pick up this Deadpool hero pack, right? Change up all these heroes that you've been playing with, right? Have them play completely differently. So just looking at these 2 tiers, right? You've got five heroes here. I'm going to say, let's say you picked up 2 here. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You'll have 16 heroes at this point, right? Deadpool will allow all those 16 heroes to play completely differently. You have 10, you have 15 villains here now. So you have 16 heroes that can be played completely differently with Deadpool. 15 villains. Just in this A and S tier, I'm giving you like at least a year's worth of content. You wouldn't need to pick up anything for at least a year, I think, if you're playing at a reasonable pace just by that. Okay, so once you've gotten your fill of your S and your A tier stuff, you can start moving down to some like decent stuff, right, to fill out your collection. Mad Titan Shadow will make everything that you've played completely different, right, with the Infinity Gauntlet. It adds Loki, who is one of the most challenging villains in this game. These, again, the villains in Next Evolution are really fun. They'll keep you on your toes, but it's Domino and Cable that really will change the way that you play. I also forgot that Cable introduces something called player side schemes, which is something completely unique to the game at this point. So this is a great campaign to pick up. Then, again, treat yourself to some new heroes that you might not have picked up at this point, right? And then definitely just get X-23. Just get X-23. She's so strong. She's like I just popped out some insane damage of her, and it just felt really good. Then you can have fun taking X-23 into this Mojo Mania scenario pack. Mojo Mania is going to give you 3 new villains, 3 new unique villains that are extremely fun to play against, and I wish I could have just taken her into Mojo Mania. That would have been awesome. Again, the Hood fight by himself is fine, but the modulars that he comes with allows you to change all the villains, giving you a completely new experience in the game, right? It's really a great pickup. Then last in this B tier is Mutant Genesis. Add 5 new villains to your kit, right? They're fun villains. It's the first time we got X-Men in the content. Colossus is fine. Kitty's a bit better than him. It's a solid campaign set. It just didn't hit the mark as some of the other ones did. Okay. If you are playing true solo, it is now time to get Kang. It's 1 new villain. It's a long fight, but it's only like $20 maybe. It's worth it. It's worth it. If at this point you've got a lot of stuff and you're really reaching at the bottom of the barrel now. Okay. All right. It's time to test how good we are, right? You've got a lot of content in the game. Galaxy's Most Wanted is going to just test how good you are, how much patience you have, and how good you can deck build. This will not hold your hand. It will just brutalize you until you essentially not want to play the game anymore. And once you've picked up literally every piece of content in this game, get the Wrecking Crew. Why not? You'll play them once or twice, and that'll be it. I've made a lot of content. People don't necessarily agree with everything I say, which is normal. I think the Wrecking Crew one is the one that I get the most heat for. The Wrecking Crew fans are a small group of people, but they are very loud. And look, guys, if you love Wrecking Crew, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you all. I wish I could love Wrecking Crew the way you do, but as a new player, I don't recommend you pick it up. Well, I hope this Holiday Buyer's Guide 2023 was helpful. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments. If you are an experienced player, give some tips to our new players. Let's welcome them to new players into this great community that we have. Thank you, everybody, and happy holidays 2023.